Do you think this was an incomplete match and 2 points were lost?
Well, I'm not sure. At one point, the match was lost, but then we came back and even took the lead. However, we lacked defensive decisiveness in the box. Still, the final result is fair. It was a good match and we played well. We played well for 60 minutes, or rather 45 minutes, because leaving aside the start of the game, and after going 2-0 down, our team started playing very well until it was 2-3. We played very well, creating many attacking opportunities, even after taking the lead. And when they equalized, we kept trying to win the match until the very last minute. So what I want to say is that some draws are just that, draws. But draws like the ones against Mallorca or Las Palmas are completely different. Today's draw was the result of a team that fought hard and supported each other. We competed but weren't able to win because we made some mistakes. But as I've said before, I think we're on the right track, on a good path. Even though this was a draw, we need to look ahead to the next matches. I feel satisfied with what we've done.
Why did you leave Vinicius on the bench? And what do you think about the yellow card he received, meaning he'll miss the next match? Did you see the possible penalty he was involved in?
About the penalty, I watched the replay, and to me it's very clear that it was a penalty. He stayed on the bench because he had played 90 minutes after returning from his injury. So we decided he would play some minutes in the second half when the intensity of the match was lower. I think Vinny played well. He did what he needed to do. He had 2 chances to score, so I'd say he had a good match.
The match was tied, but there was still plenty of time left to score another goal. What do you think was missing?
We were missing a goal. We tried everything. Vinicius had 2 clear chances to score, including a penalty that wasn't given. I don't think we could have asked more from our attackers. They all played very well, and I'm happy with the great game Rodrygo played. He's returned to his best form. I see a bright future for the team. Now we have to finish the year well, and we have a big opportunity this Wednesday to win the FIFA Club World Cup. That would be the cherry on top of what's been a fantastic year.
Can you talk to us about the 2 mistakes that led to 3 goals? They came from set pieces. We know that's something you don't particularly like. For example, the second goal came after a corner and the third after a free kick, where nobody cleared the cross into the box. Aren't these the kinds of mistakes that frustrate you the most?
Yes, but we also played a complete game in this regard. If we hadn't made those simple mistakes, we would have won the match 3-0. The truth is we don't have very tall players in the team. We have tall players like tchouameni and Rodrygo, who are good in aerial duels, but our fullbacks are not tall. That's where we are weak and where we suffer, and today we paid for that.
Listening to your words, you've distinguished this draw from those against Mallorca and Las Palmas. Would this be a good time to reflect and tell us what you really think about those 2 matches? And how do you see the team now?
Back then, I thought it was very difficult to find balance and commitment within the team, and we didn't have the right attitude. I was worried. But now we've achieved that. We have a team with the same attitude as last season, along with the same commitment and quality. Players are returning. Today, we saw a good Rodrygo. Camavinga is back, and soon Alaba will return. So I'm optimistic about 2025, though I could be wrong. How many times have I been wrong before? But I see 2025 as promising, filled with motivation and enthusiasm. We are alive in all competitions. After those draws you mentioned, I was personally affected. Back then, it was hard to imagine being in this good situation now in December. Now we're fine, not perfect, but good. despite many challenges. We must remember that we started today's match without many key players. Without Mbappe, without Vinicius, without Camavinga, without Mendy, without Militão, without Carvajal, and without Alaba. That's 7 starters missing. But all my players competed very well. When we have all our players back, our team will be much stronger.
How is Tchouameni performing in his new role as a central defender? Can we consider him a starter in that position now?
No, he's playing there now out of necessity. Once we recover all our players, I'll decide where to position him. I know I can rely on him, as I've said before. Of course, he's not used to that position, but this is perfectly normal, and he always does his job well. Today, in particular, we played out from the back very effectively, finding good solutions between the lines. For this type of play, he helps us a lot.
It's said that leagues are won in these types of stadiums. Today you had the chance to lead the table this week, but ended up third. Do you think the argument can be flipped to say that leagues can also be lost in these stadiums? And with all your optimism for 2025, do you think you can convince Vinicius to stop protesting so much?
Well, regarding the topic of Vinicius, I prefer not to comment. Last season, we didn't win at this stadium either. We came away with a draw, but we still went on to win the La Liga title. To win La Liga, you have to win matches. But if you can't win, you also shouldn't lose. I said this last season, and everything worked out well for us.
Having seen how the season has unfolded so far, don't you think Jude Bellingham is the leader of this team?
As I've said before, he is a very important player. I don't choose the leader, the players do. The leader isn't just him. Bellingham has been playing very well. He's reaching his best form. And right now he's contributing a lot to the team.
We saw you approach the fourth official when the opposing goalkeeper went down complaining of muscle cramps. You also spoke to the main referee at the end of the match. What did you say to them?
I don't think I said anything special, really. I just asked them to add the time the goalkeeper wasted to the clock, because it's not the first time that this goalkeeper has had cramps. He needs to take a little more potassium. That'll help him.
You've praised Rodrygo's performance a lot. He was particularly important in 2 plays on the left wing. Don't you think there's a surplus in this position with Mbappe, Rodrygo, and Vinicius?
Today we switched positions because we thought Rodrygo could create more danger from the left. Honestly, after a slightly complicated start to the match for him, he found his rhythm and played a great game. He's undoubtedly back to his best form. Today he scored a goal, so everything is fine.